Hello everyone, Kayla here, and this is What the Kink, a natural hair channel where I share my personal hair journey and tips, tricks, and product reviews to help you with your own. The detangle part of this video is done with the Ajwa Beauty Blue Tansy Reparative Mask. I definitely, in my review, it wasn't my favorite out of the other products, but I find that now I just have to apply more product to the back and more water overall to get a slippery detangle like the rinse out conditioner in the line. And then the detangling brush that I'm using today, this is the Curl Keeper brush by the people who make the Curly Hair Solutions, people that make the Curl Keeper products. This brush does cost a little bit more, and then I told you guys in the past that this was the same as the Philips Flex brush or Flexi brush. Both available on Amazon. I'll see if I can find my other links and put it down in the description box. But I see people over on Narada's channel going crazy for the Unbrush. And the Unbrush is basically this brush. I think it is cheaper, and it comes in tons of different colors because both the Philips and the Curl Keeper come in this color. But the Unbrush comes in a lot of colors. So I'm thinking, when this brush tears up, I might go and get one of those. The talk part was going to be one thing. But then when I went to go wash my hair to prep for this, my husband insisted on shampooing and conditioning my hair. And this is his leg here because he feels like he must be present because he already know I was going to talk about him.
Yep.
So we might talk about what I was going to talk about, but let's go ahead, detangle.
Well, you could do that. I just wanted to get in here and hear my criticism.
Okay, first of all, I will say that I'm very appreciative of the fact that he took it upon himself, took the initiative to wash my hair for me. That's really sweet. One of these days I might be in a position where washing my hair won't be as easy for me, and having someone help is great. My one complaint is there probably wasn't as much smoothing as I would do when I wash my hair.
And usually smoothing is what? What is smoothing?
Like even how you see me doing right here.
Right.
Like that, I do that with the shampoo in my hair, like every step.
I wouldn't do that with shampoo though. That's why I didn't do it. I would think something softer like that conditioner is what would be.
Well, the thing is, because what's going to happen is when I went to section my hair for this, I found my hair was really short. For the new people who are just coming on here, my hair is waist length when fully extended. So,
I got in my feelings.
Yeah, so my hair was a little short, and then it was a little bit more difficult to put into these 4 sections because it's really important to do those things during the shampoo step to get it, there's a whole technique to it. And I'm thinking though, Juan, that I think that a lot of people probably struggle with that. That's why they're frustrated with natural hair and stuff like that.
I mean, I do it with my hair, but my hair ain't long like yours.
Right.
So it's a lot more real estate to deal with your hair. Whereas I think I became overwhelmed with all of the sections and not knowing how to do the sections, not wanting to damage your hair by pulling it too hard. Plus, I'm sensitive, so I can't be just grabbing your hair. And then once I got frustrated, I just, I turned into the black mama. We ain't got time to be doing all this. We got to get this done. So,
yeah.
I mean, I thought just like you're doing now, when my hair was longer, I would do it with conditioner only because it's a softer product. It has that more, I guess, what do you say, slip or smoother or whatever y'all say about it. You know what I'm saying? So I felt like it's easier to detangle with that product versus doing it with shampoo, even though I only have been shampooing my hair at this length that I'm at and haven't really been doing conditioners a lot.
The thing is, though, you have to find that if you wait just to the conditioner detangling step to detangle, it's a lot more work and effort to detangle.
Right.
So, like, my hair, people sit here and watch these videos and it looks like it's so easy for me to detangle, but there was a whole process behind that made it easy.
Yeah.
That got me here to make me able to brush through, thick type 4 natural hair.
And you said that it took me more time, so it's too many hands in the pot.
Exactly. So, like, because of the video I was watching was about like 55 minutes. So it was about 50 minutes of the video gone that it took you to do the 2 lathers and apply the conditioner. Whereas in 50 minutes, I would have shampooed 2 times, applied conditioner, and detangled about half of my head in 50 minutes.
Yeah, but the hair's gonna look good because I put my hands in it.
Oh. But I mean, it's not impossible. Like, I'm not mad. Like, I'm able. Like, I've got it. Like, I mean, look, it's fully detangled. It's extended. and it's fine, and I'm gonna get the rest of my head like that too. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But that's kind of what, like, in the shower, I was kind of bringing up to him. You know, every once in a while, I get criticisms from people that I use too much product. So yes, that recent comment about how much product I used. Yeah, I saw it. I saw it.
For a layman like me though, I would just I feel personally I like to coat my hair the way I coat it. If I'm gonna use product, I'm gonna pay for the product that I like to use that gives me the results for my look. And I didn't want to, when you sit the whole time we was in there, I didn't want to put a whole bunch of product in your hair because I don't know how it's going to coat your hair, how many sections and stuff to go through, and I just didn't. I don't have the experience, so I don't have any way to tell, is this how she likes it? This is not how I like it, but I'm doing the minimum amount because I don't pay for your products. And then I also don't, you know how people be like, oh, can I borrow some cologne, or can I borrow some perfume, or can I borrow this and stuff, and then they never give it back, or they take so much of it that you can't do whatever you need to be doing for.
But what did you? But what did you discover about the amount of product that it takes to do my hair?
To me, I felt like once I got into to black dad mode, I said I'm gonna use how much ever product I need to get to coat the hair strands, every section that I want to be fully coated to wash the hair. And that's the point for me. I was like, okay, when we was washing, I was like, everything needs to have something in it, everything needs to be separated as much as possible at that point, so that the soap can do what it needs to do as far as taking out any dirt, any other product that's already in there out of your hair, so that you can rinse it out. So I used as much product as I wanted, and I got the coating that I liked.
But I'm saying, how much did you think you would have to use versus how much you actually did have
From
to
the
use?
shampoo, I think I would probably, what did they say, like little dollar?
They say
like,
reality
like
versus expectations.
The reality was we got a silver dollar. If I had to do your whole hair by myself and I was using like a silver dollar amount, I probably would use about maybe six silver dollars, like one per section. And then like you said, you do it twice, so I might even, like, I'm more of a surface area guy, so I wanted to do from the bottom, so like close to your neck, close to your ears, out, and then from the top, and then raking it through the middle section. So I would have probably used about 6 silver dollars.
The point I'm making, guys, is that when he got in that hair, he had to use a whole lot more product than he thought he had to use. When he got in there, he was like, dang, this is a lot of hair. I don't think people fully understand how much hair is over here.
Yeah.
I got, listen, whoever you know personally that got a lot of hair, I got more hair than them. And that's the point I'm making. So when people criticize how much product I use, you're not really understanding just how much hair there is. It's a lot of hair over here. I'm not just slapping product on my hair haphazardly. I'm using how much needed to be used, as he said. I'm using how much need to be used.
I think that's one of the, it's a subjective amount. I mean, I'm sure scientists can find how much you need, but how much is that need going to be, like you said, using more water for certain products, or somebody's technique be, especially somebody with more experience, is going to need probably less products to cut the hair, or they did do a little cut arounds. But if you're doing it yourself, you know, treat yourself. Do what you need to do to get your hair the way you want it to be done. And if you become a professional later on in life and you don't need to use as much product, you just kind of tone it down. So it's like anything you learn, and I don't know anything about long hair, so this is a whole experience for me. So.
And that's the thing, you know, technique is a big thing, because my technique, my hair pretty much stays wet the whole time. My hair is flat, or you know, as flat as my hair can get, and I don't use as much product as he used. I probably have double the amount of conditioner on my hair right now, but it's fine. That's what's needed right now. And then he used several times the amount of shampoo that I use. Typically, my moisturizing shampoo, the second lather, I usually only do one, like a little, the size of like a quarter. I usually do only one, and then sometimes two, just to get a little bit of an area. But at that point, my hair has been smooth and kind of flattened out with the, and then of course not as dirty with the first shampoo.
Are you saying that my job is dirty?
No, but then I'm saying, and then with the first shampoo, he used a lot. And I would have probably used about half of what he used. But it's because there was a difference in technique, because I do these technique things of you know, wetting my hair thoroughly and like sectioning while the shampoo is in, smoothing and stuff like that. I don't use as much product as he used because of the difference in technique. But bottom line is, it's a lot of hair over here, and I'm going to use more than the average person.
Yeah.
And so, like, it's even now I'm contemplating no longer really sharing how much I use, because I feel like maybe it's not helpful to people because they can't relate. They don't have as much hair.
You gotta have those little notes. This is your hair, and everybody's hair is not going to be the same, and everybody's level is not going to be the same. If you wouldn't have ate breakfast this morning, my arms were starting to get tired after a while. So after 50 minutes of trying to rake the stuff through your hair, I'm getting a little mini workout. And I go golfing every weekend. I go out and do exercises. So for me, just holding my arms up into that position, trying to do it, could make you tired, and then it caused me frustration, because I was like, okay, well, I know she would have been already done at this point, because she keep on trying to act like, yeah,
I was getting cold in there, like water to keep me warm. He was turning the water on, talking about keep me warm. And then my hair, he was taking so long to lather, y'all. The hair was drying out.
And then I was giving you the spa experience.
So there's definitely a difference in technique between he and I. And he learned today just how much hair his wife got. Because I don't think he knew before.
I knew. I just don't. When you see something versus when you actually do it, it's the biggest difference. You can have book smarts, and then you can also have street smarts.
But, you know, this reminds me of the time where it was a really old video back when we lived in Panama City. And I said something like, oh yeah, my hair really didn't come out well with this product. It was to the point that even my husband said something. And my husband has hair that's completely different from mine. Or something like that, right? And then someone took that as you being white.
Oh, yeah.
And so then they left a comment, and they were like, oh, I don't know what it is with these sisters today. All the natural, you know, because there was that stereotype that naturals had white husbands. And so it was this person really going in on me, and I replied back in the nicest way possible.
They let love be love?
That's what I'm saying. Who cares if my husband white or not? But they came in and they commented, and they were like, you know, well, I replied back, and I said, oh, that's an interesting topic that you bring up, but I really can't comment because my husband is black. And then they went back, deleted their original ranty, mean comment, and they were like, oh, your husband is black. What a blessing.
Well, you know.
And I would just, you know, but I think there's that, it comes from them believing that black people have to have a certain type of hair texture, because, I mean, pop your head in, babe. You can see we have a completely different...
Oh, my goodness.
Our hair...
Am I in there?
Yeah, you're in there.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, his hair is completely different from mine, but he's not a white man.
My hair is short, though.
And that's also a difference as well. But he's not a white man. So, you know, and I feel like, and like he said, why don't they let love be love? It's none of their business if I'm with a white man. You don't need to go in on me about who I'm married to.
I mean, I'm curious sometimes. I'm not going to lie. That curiosity is always there.
What do you mean?
Getting into other people's business. Seeing what they do.
Oh.
Seeing what they like, be like.
I guess.
No.
That's why vlogs are popular, I guess. I don't
know. It's something where we, I think as a people, we go through a lot of the self-identifying crises, and sometimes it does matter to certain people, you know. Just like religion and all other kind of things. Some people get hung up on those things. Some people don't care. But it's a reason why they're coming to your channel. It's a reason why they want to see what your life is about. So some things is just, some people have negative things to say. Some people have positive things to say. You just gotta let it go and be a duck and let the water roll off your little oily little feathers.
I feel like that's easy to say, but it's hard to do.
I know.
You know, I'm a person, and people will be like, well, you should have tough skin if you're going to be on YouTube. Well, then I'll just close my channel today, because I don't have tough skin, and I never will.
No, nobody has tough skin. But
I don't. So
it's all right. You just gotta put everything into perspective. And
so I see the mean comments.
Do these people, are they gonna come up to your face and say it?
And they wouldn't. And wouldn't.
So
would not say it to my face. Go off me. Well, first off, if they was in my face, you'd probably be standing there and they see you ain't white. So.
Yeah.
And then of course we have the nosy people who have probably clocked that your name is Juan. Would you like to explain why he's black, y'all. He's black, but
damn, this ain't my biography.
No, but I'm saying, like, I kind of know, like, being on YouTube, you can kind of predict.
Man, I know so many people from south of the border, Central America, they come up to me and they speak Spanish, and
I
they're
know.
darker than everybody in my family. And
I know.
I have a lot of dark-skinned people in my family. I just ain't one of them. But I am what I am. What I am. That's, let me stop. No, my mom is black, and my dad is black and Mexican. My dad's grandfather is Mexican from Texas, super light, and he married a black woman in Indiana, my grandmother. And my grandmother, when they would visit back home in Texas, to my great grandfather, not my grandmother, my greats, these are my greats.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't let her in the house. So my grandfather, at being a young age, he seen that and was like, fuck that, you know. I'm black, my mom's black, and he never learned Spanish, didn't get any of the traditions passed on from my Mexican roots. So when I meet people or I see people and they see that I'm light skinned, they assume that I'm Puerto Rican or some island culture person because of my name. And then also, even growing up in California, most people call me Puerto Rican because I couldn't be Mexican. I could not be Mexican.
That's the thing.
So, and then growing up in a black family, I got all of the stereotypical names thrown at me, Jorge, and all those funny things that people like to say that could damage somebody. And even being around all my black relatives, black friends, and all of the good hair, bad hair comments, even my dad saying you got, you know, and so many words, not like his hair. So it's like a lot of cultural things that people get hung up on. I had to deal with at a young age, so I don't really wear any remarks that is said to me on my sleeve. My heart is not on my sleeve, it's in my chest. And yeah, man, I don't know. I have to explain that shit every time I meet somebody. So it's kind of like all my family is black on both sides because of what happened to my grandfather on my dad's side. And then my mom's side is super light, and they're from Mississippi and Texas. So it's super funny that like most of the people on my mom's side are super light. So they're from the Delta, so I don't know.
I think Mama VJ is very light skinned too. She's very native looking,
right.
Very, very.
Well, my dad is attracted to lighter women because of the colorism that he grew up in,
but
so.
Mama VJ is very, like we know fully on your dad's side Mexico, but Mama VJ look some kind of way
Texas,
too.
but Texas and Mexico, but
Tejano.
But it don't matter. I don't get into everything. I know what I am. A lot of things that people say, especially kids and even adults without maturity or don't think before they say stuff, they can say things that hurt you, and it's like either you gonna take the lashes or you gonna cry about it or you gonna keep moving forward. I don't really get caught into it, but I know living in this country that it don't really matter if you can't pass. You are at last. There's her. She's there. So you might as well get down with your
Our baby is outside.
Get down
baby
with your
cat.
So,
because I just know, like, I don't get it asked as much on YouTube because y'all can't see my full name on YouTube. I don't use my full name on YouTube, but we do live in Central Florida, and so oftentimes people can see my full name when I go places, and just like he said, it's Hispanic people that ask. Yeah, it's Hispanic people. They see my name and they be like, oh, what's going on? They found a lot of cute ways to ask what's going on, like what's your background, where's your family from. Another one, do you speak Spanish? And when I was in Mexico, they asked me, where's your last name from? And like he said, with the people assuming island places because we're black. And then dude face was broke when I was like, Mexico? And my name is from Mexico. He's like, oh.
Mexico.
I'm like, shout out to the black Mexicans because I know they exist. And I wonder what it must be like to actually be a black Mexican, maybe in Mexico, if people always assume that you are, extraño.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like even, I'm not going to say that. This ain't not sure.
Yeah, we don't want to get too off in the the deep end with that one. Just know that where we live, we do get asked. And see, hablo un poco de español. But that don't mean you just be talking to me and assuming stuff, though. I was telling him, I was in Sally Beauty. And this lady in there was trying to buy a hair color to cover her, after she spoke to me. She was trying to get hair dye to color her grays. And because I understood the word silver, so I'm assuming she was trying to color her grays. And she was just like, do you speak Spanish? Because everybody in the Sally Beauty, well, no, I was the only brown person in Sally Beauty at that moment. And I was like, I speak a little Spanish. And then I tried to tell her in Spanish, like, there's no color in this product. She had like a clear rinse, and I was like, there's no color in this product. Like, you're not finna cover no grays with this. I tried my best, but I am not fluent because I am the laziest Spanish speaker ever, but I can eavesdrop. So if somebody else is talking, I typically know what they're saying, and I can read really well as well. So when I was in Mexico, it was pretty dope. I could understand what was going on and stuff. But don't put pressure on me to be like fluent, because I'm not. So, and my husband, what about your Spanish speaking, babe?
I'm just now starting to learn how to speak Spanish, and it is a good journey, I can say. I'm the type of person that I need somebody to speak Spanish to me every day, and my coworkers do that. So I'm learning bits and pieces, starting to try to see and reach out to see culturally what I be missing. But even now, because we live in Florida, there's a lot of Spanish speakers here.
Yeah, but they're not Mexican.
It's better to be able to speak Spanish a little bit and to make connections with people that you normally wouldn't make connections with.
It's helpful with parents. I tell my parents, hey, I'm like, you can speak in Spanish on this call, because I understand. I just might answer back in English. Or like, I had parents where they would write letters in Spanish, and the letter ain't even about their kid that I teach. It's about something else. Like this one parent was asking me, I guess they had a program in a school where I used to work, where everybody got backpacks with supplies in it. And so she wanted backpacks for like all 3 of her kids. And so she was asking me, could I get her the backpacks? Which I did. But, you know, that's helpful that she was able to write that note and I could read it and get her what she was asking for. So, and I had a phone conversation with that parent once where she spoke in Spanish and I spoke in English, and we both understood each other. So,
even if you don't have everything correct, most of the people that are teaching me said that as long as you're trying, we can put the pieces together. And it makes sense. Even when I was in Japan, if I didn't say something correctly or not using the correct grammar or something, people understand what you're trying to get the point across. So it's always, I don't know. You never know. You meet connections with people. You never know who's going to offer you a glass of water when you need it. So
that's always my jokey thing. After the ice is broken and they've asked about my name, I joke. I'm like, oh, my husband speaks Japanese. Probably not anymore, but he did speak Japanese. He was joking with some Japanese school children, and he's like, why are you just standing there? I'm like, because I don't know what y'all are talking about, and they thought it was so funny, and he thought it was so funny, whatever joke he told them. I'm like, how am I supposed to react? I don't speak Japanese.
well,
Y'all are having a grand old time with whatever you're talking about.
people like to be with people who have some similarities to them, even if it's just a shared language or just a shared look. But looks can be deceiving. Because what they say, all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Right.
So,
Yeah, see, we're getting in here and see it's kind of matted up together a little bit. So we're just gonna...
here, that's one section.
No, I'm showing them this one section. They've probably been watching and listening to you, but watching me kind of do a little bit more work to separate. It's not drastic, but anyone who regularly watches my channel or regularly watches my Detangling Talks...
Somebody put it in the comments if she's taking more time.
I don't know if I'm taking more. I didn't put my watch on, so... I'm probably making the same amount of time, I think. I don't feel like I'm sitting here drastically longer. But see, that's a thing too, because I was telling you, I'm like, it's 7 days worth of hair. You gotta de-shed this thing a bit.
Right.
Because I only wash my hair once a week, whereas you rinse your hair every morning before you restyle it, and shampoo every night.
Well, this is something new that I've been trying because this is what's working for me right now, and I do like the product that I'm using for the styler. I just don't like the smell, but usually I will go through the steps that you went through. But with my length, I don't need to, and I know that I'm eventually, if I can keep this hair growing, because I have little patience, and I'm trying to learn patience because I'm used to cutting my hair at least once every week and a half to 2 weeks. That I will get a different product regimen as far as what I want to put into my hair. But for this little hair journey that I started this time, I'm noticing that the more water that I have as far as water retention, and going in as soon as I get out the shower, I kind of let my hair I pat it dry a little bit, but I don't want to take all of the water out so that the natural pattern of my hair will get styled naturally for my little wash and go. So I don't use conditioners right now because of my length is so short, but I do know that I'm gonna have to use conditioners in the next maybe 2 or 3 inches that I grow. And then also, even like last time, I was only co-washing last time, so it's like the reverse for me. And that's funny because I wasn't using shampoo before, and it's like, how are you fucking washing your hair?
Sending co-wash to Afghanistan.
How are you really getting anything that's in your hair? All of the dust and the sand and
We
the
know that
spit
now.
and all that stuff. You gotta get it
We
out.
evolve. Because they've created shampoos like that Verb shampoo that you put on my hair for the second lather. It's very, like you made a comment the second it came out and it started lathering the hair. You made a comment about it because it's a moisturizing shampoo.
Yeah.
Now we have options like that. We can go buy something like that off the shelf at Ulta.
Right.
Because both those shampoos were from Ulta. You just go buy it off the shelf, and boom.
But even then, like when I was a kid and my hair was really long, I never styled it. I just washed it and then let it air dry, and then it be dried. And then I didn't do any like protective styles or anything. And I always used to be like, I had an afro that was super dry, and people would always be like, "Oh, he has an afro and stuff," but it wasn't really the pattern that I would want my hair. It was like always
It was the Lush afro.
Yeah, so it's like
You gotta use product for the Lush afro.
Yeah, you gotta put something in your hair.
Shout out to Akia for A Love for Me, where she does her fro videos. That's how you get the behaving afro.
But then also, I think it's the lack of knowledge or the lack of curiosity to style your hair in certain ways. Because when I was a kid, I just wanted to have my hair washed and go outside and be having curls and locks and stuff, and that's not reality. Because a lot of my friends, they would wash their hair, they would put gel in their hair in the morning, and I would be like, well, why my hair don't do that? I assumed that they weren't, like, gel wasn't what it was and all this other thing. So it's like the lack of knowledge. If you let your hair dry out, if you're in a hot climate or if you're in a dry arid climate, your hair is the water is gonna evaporate. It's not gonna, if it's
That's
nothing to
what it
hold it in.
does.
So it's not gonna stay there unless that's your hair type, where your hair is very coarse. Even if it's coarse, you have to have some type of moisturizer. Everybody has to. Whether you're not getting it through your diet or whatever you're doing to keep your hair the way you like it. And ultimately, it's what you like. Because I definitely, you joke about it, but I seen my hair when we did that video, and I said, wow, I really miss my hair. And it's a lot of work and patience that goes into growing your hair. So I think it's definitely, like y'all say, hair journey, whatever. I didn't get into all of that stuff, but this is the first cognizant journey that I'm taking right now, just to see how my hair reacts to different things. Or am I even happy with my hair this week or this day? Because there's certain days, like maybe last week, I probably had like 3 good hair days in my opinion, where nobody else in the world would know whether or not my hair was good looking or
Right.
not.
They don't know what our hair is
So-
supposed to look like. That's how I be going out with whatever hair, because I know folks don't know what it's supposed to look like. So my hair would be not looking good at all, and I know that they don't know.
So, I think people would only notice if they see you every day. And they know, like, okay, just like if you see somebody is sad or you like, hey man, you okay? That's what somebody should say about your hair when it's messed up. Hey, hey.
Are you okay? You
okay?
going through it, boo boo? Your hair ain't quite doing what it usually do.
Like, you don't want to point that out.
No.
You just take note, like, hey, what's going on? It's a difference, because they say, like, you look at somebody's fingernails or you look at their hair, you can see if they're healthy or not.
It makes
know,
you
that
feel
shit,
like
so it's
you don't want to really try other things, because you're like, well, that's for other people. Because
Yeah.
I know when I first went natural, I noticed that I just immediately assumed that I was gonna have like perfect afro hair, because which is funny now, because like my hair without product still, it does kind of have like a curl pattern to it, and it hangs a bit. So my hair's real floppy. So if you're trying to get an afro with my type of hair, it doesn't necessarily stand up.
Right.
It kind of clumps and droops. So I didn't try the defined wash and goes like what I wear, because I just felt like, oh well, I don't have that kind of hair, and so I can't do it.
Right, you
know what I mean?
put yourself into in a position, or people will say certain things, and you put yourself in a position to not try something because of somebody said, "Oh well, I don't have that.
Exactly.
I'm other."
And I'm sure there's people that watch my videos and they're like, oh man, I could never do what she does. But y'all, trust me, my hair is, I'd say my hair is probably probably more like most of the people that are watching my videos. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
like
mean,
it's
people
definitely more of a
gravitate.
kinky texture. And I feel
I
like a
don't
lot of
know
people.
what I know. Like a lot of the women in my family, when they always complain, like my hair don't grow and stuff, it's like it's usually the lack of knowledge.
That's what I'm
And
saying.
it's
You
like,
gotta know how to do
the
it.
work. You
Get
gotta
ready for styling.
find some other things that'll work for you, and you're never gonna do it if you have people saying, "Oh, your hair is nappy," or "Your hair is this," "Your hair is that," and all that shit. So it's like if you surround your people and they in your family or they your friends and stuff, and they telling you these things, that's what you're gonna hear and that's what you're gonna think it is, and that's not necessarily true.
All right, so I did lose a little bit more hair, guys, but this is hair that I would
Here
have
you
lost.
go.
No, this is hair that would have come out in the shower
7 days.
during the shampoo phase.
Okay.
So I have a bit of hair that comes out then, and then there's other hair that comes out when I detangle my hair. Like there was definitely more hair in the brush than would normally be, because it's a whole process. There's less hair that comes out here because it comes out in other steps of the routine. So I had to get it all out here.
Right.
But it's fully detangled and everything, and it's clean. So I'm not worried about it. That's why I didn't care when you said you was gonna wash it. I'm not bothered by it.
I said I was gonna style it too.
He said he gonna style it too. So and by the way, there's no video of any of this because it's difficult to like shower, like
I'm
do
naked.
showering and stuff. I think they had assumed that without us having to say that. But
I am not wearing swim trunks to put product on my swim trunks.
yeah, so we didn't film because I wasn't expecting him to actually be serious. He was talking about he was gonna do my hair from yesterday, and I didn't think that he was actually serious. You know what? Let's bring her in here. Let her come on in here because she crying up a storm. She'll never cry when I make no video. Look.
Because I'm in here.
Hello?
It's because I'm in here.
Hello? You're in the video now. Yes. Oh, yes, ma'am. Yeah. Yes. Yes. Okay, y'all. So she said, shut this video down. That's what she said. If you're interested in watching my other detangling talks, I've got them here and here. I will let YouTube place them, or I'm gonna place them. My bad. Not a dog cutting up. Okay, subscribe. I post videos every week, and I will talk to you in the next one.